Okay, it's Fred Candy from Virginia, Kentucky, Bigfoot, and the show this evening is our camp out we had this past week, and it was very, very, very interesting. And we seen a lot, we heard a lot, I did a lot, I pissed a lot of things off while I was there. But the thing about it is, we had interaction. Okay, Connie, you want to start it off?
Yeah, well, the first day that Fred got here, we went ahead and set up camp. And on the way down to camp, you could hear them following us
Yeah,
all the way down there.
yeah. They burned my head too when I
Then
first.
that night,
Keep going.
what was that? What was that, Fred?
I said I got. Remember they burned me going down that trail, going down the hill from the
Oh
power
yeah,
line.
well, that was when we was packing the cooler.
Yeah,
When we went back the next morning and got the cooler, we was coming back across the power line, and they started zapping Fred. Fred didn't believe me at first, so I stopped. But maybe we stopped. When we did, I just yelled at him and told him to stop it, that they was hurting him, and it wasn't nice. And then a few minutes after I did that, Fred started feeling better.
yeah,
That's when Fred started believing me that they do listen, because they
yeah.
didn't zap him no more after that.
No, but we anyway we got down to the camp and we got set up and we went back to I think it was what the next day or later that day to no it's the next day we had to go back and get some more stuff out of my van and we took a
Yeah,
shortcut went up through the power line and I forgot my keys so I had to run back. And when I got my keys, I went back across the power line. I stopped and looked to my right, and a 4 foot juvenile stepped out into the open out of wood line. And I waved at it, and it walked back in, you know. But they followed us everywhere down there, and it was cool, you know. Hey, anyway, what happened that night?
well, that first night we went to go to sleep tree, and I happened to look out and I could see there was a juvie peeping around the side of the tree, trying to look into the tent. Because the next night's when the fun really started.
Yeah, tell them about that.
Yeah, we were sitting in the camp and talking, and all of a sudden, Fred pointed toward my right. And when I looked toward the right, Fred squalled, "I see you." When he did, there was one that royally breaking limbs and stuff. It even did a grunt growl. It was funny. Then the next day when we come back out again, it threw a rock at him.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really made you mad, you know, because
That was funny.
yeah, I told people, you know, I can piss a squatch off, and because what he did, here's the tree, here's the eye. This is what I saw, just that quick, and that's when I said it, and made him mad. We also heard twice a newborn baby squatch.
Well, you heard it twice, and then I heard it a third, another after you did a third time.
Yeah. Then you saw that. Then you saw that 12 footer step out from behind me somewhere.
Yeah, that's when you was fiddling around with the fire. You was looking up the hill at the two up the hill, and 'cause I looked that way, and then when I looked back towards you, I saw it stand there. Then a Juby come out with a few minutes after it did, and then the big one went back in, and then the Juby went back in.
Yeah. And to my right, about 50 yards up on the ridge, we saw two of them sitting on the road looking at us. You know, you can look up there. If you look directly at them, you can't see them. But if you look slightly to the left or the right, you can see them. You can see it was a big one and a small one. And they come toward us and then come down the hill into the woods, kind of cut to their left and everything. But we found structures like I'm talking about some. I mean, I've seen a lot of structures, you know, but a lot.
Oh, sorry. That one still got me stumped.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you know, we Bono took one of the pictures we got, and he found a juvenile squatch about less than 20 feet from us, I think it was, um, peeping at us. You know, he got that. We got a photograph of an X. I came out, I can't remember. She took it, or I took it. But to the right of it, there is a green orb or some sorts. Well, we zoomed in on it.
You took it.
Oh, okay. We zoomed in on it, and there was you describe it. You're better at it than I am.
Mist.
It was like a ghost of an Indian
Oh yeah.
between it and the tree, and between the tree and the ghost Indian was a squatch head. A
I saw
a
that.
squatch spirit head, which was weird, wild. I knew these woods were haunted, but I've never seen the green blobs like that before.
It was very, very interesting. I can say that much for you, because I've never had anything like that. But hey, audience, if y'all have any questions on the live video thing over in that chat box, go ahead and ask some questions, and we'll ask you questions and everything. So I want to ask Ryan. All right, you had your experience, okay? We had our experience. Now, did you see any of the videos that we made and posted?
I honestly have not. My week has been so busy. I mean, I'm getting home, like, today's the earliest day. But it's just been so busy. Like, I haven't been home till at least 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and then I'm trying to get to bed, and, like, it's been rough.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, all right, well, you just said back when they asked Leo. Leo, you got any questions?
I don't know that I can think of any. I watched all the videos and looked at the pictures, and it's all very interesting. The picture with the Indian is really cool. The ghost, it does look like a ghost standing there. Um, I don't have a question right off. You posted a lot of videos, and they kind of describe your whole trip a lot, So just tell us some more about it.
Yeah, we
It seemed
were.
like you had a great time.
Yeah, yeah, we were sitting there, and I decided I was going to teach her some ancient Cherokee, so I told her to say "Ostio Niha," and it took a little while to hit it just right. But when she finally did, we were getting responses from around us. You could hear movement, little slight grunts and everything, and they were getting closer and closer and closer. And it was very, very interesting. Everything. Now,
Uh,
Connie,
I have
tell them.
a question.
Okay.
Um, I know that I know this, and I can't remember offhand. What type of Native American is Connie? Is she
Cherokee.
Cherokee or okay? Does your mother know any
Cherokee.
old Cherokee?
No, she's not Cherokee.
Was from your daddy's side.
Cherokee comes in on my dad's side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just
But
then if
yeah.
go ahead.
But nobody on my dad's side will teach me anything. They actually keep it kind of hush hush. I don't
But I
know
took
why.
I think a lot of Native Americans keep things hush hush.
Yeah. Well, you know, I started, you know, teaching her, you know, as far as the structures and everything. I really wasn't teaching. I was fine-tuning her, you know, and uh, she learned a lot, you know, and she showed me things that I've never seen before, you know. Believe it or not, she's a hell of a tracker, you know. She could, you
I
know, 'cause
believe it.
you know, she's been there longer, you know, so she was teaching me, you know, the routes and everything they'd take and stuff like that, which is pretty damn interesting, you know. And some of her takes on the structures and everything, and her area, she described everything to a T down in her area, you know. But she knows. But one thing I will tell you, these squatches have been on this property for God knows how many years. Uh, they've been, I mean, nobody, I mean, no one hunts them. There's no pressure, so they can raise their families there, you know, and not be threatened. You know, like they're not scared of her because she's been there all her life, you know, and they know what she does and they know what she don't do, you know. So they follow her. Like every time we left to go out and come back in, we were being followed, and we knew where they was at the whole time. Now, she went up the hill.
Yeah, 'cause they'll let you know where they're at.
Yeah, 'cause Connie went up behind the hill to take a picture of a tree that had a face on it. Well, someone said that there was a squatch stand there behind another tree, and she said it was a root. Well, Bono got a hold of it, and come to find out when Connie walked up to the tree, that squatch was still standing there watching her. But he was squatting down on his butt and made him look like a log. That's something that I never even thought about until I saw the picture that Bono took. I mean, the picture that.
Yeah, that tree 10, 15 yards from me.
Yeah, yeah. And you said someone said it was a log. They said it was a squash. I said no, it's a log. And I looked up. I thought it was a log too, but it was cold black. But then when Bono showed it, it was a squash sitting there watching us the whole.
Yeah, 'cause I took
freaking
two
time.
pictures standing in the same spot.
Yeah.
'Cause I never moved.
I saw those pictures.
Yeah. Well, keep on going, Connie. You're doing good.
But like I said, I was standing in the same pot. What caught my attention was that tree. Look at that tree. All I could see was a face on it. And I thought
Yeah.
it was neat, so I just walked up there to take a picture of that tree. I didn't even know the squatch was there when I took the picture. But
Yeah.
the whole time we was there, every night we had a juvie right around the tent.
Yeah. You
The
got pushed
best
on.
one was the last night we was there.
That was.
I woke up about 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. And I had my head door. It was hot, and right in me as I ever saw, sitting there staring at me. So I just laid down, zipped the tent up at doors to sleep. But I heard it walking off though after I zipped the door up,
How lucky is that?
which that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Fred told me the next day when I told. But heck,
Yeah.
I was all I wanted to do was go back to sleep.
But but you know, these squatches, they're not scared of you. You know, they're not scared of you. Period. You know, I mean, I mean, I've had them come close to my camp here. But these guys were getting extremely close. You know, I think the one I pissed off, I think he kept his distance because he knew that I don't think he'd like me after that. But I stood up and told him that.
He didn't.
But I,
They
t-
would
I
have
told,
said it though.
yeah, but I told people, I says, I proved how to make a squatch give his location away, which I did in my other video down here. And I proved the same thing in Kentucky, how to make him give his location away.
Yeah.
Mad as he was, but I'm saying that night when we heard that baby twice,
Mm-hmm.
they had to be right there at the right on the backside of that waterfall in that thicket right there where it's open in the back. That's where they was
They
at.
was.
And they watched us the whole freaking
They
time.
was.
And
Yeah.
you know, well anyway, we went out. We went looking for structures. I found big structures. I found small structures. I found structures that I never thought I would ever see. You know, I mean, some of the ways that they make these structures are phenomenal. You know, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out what the purpose was of them making that. The way they made them. I mean, they was in the. She's got a we call it a strip mine, and there's a ton, and I mean a ton of pine thickets in that place, and hardwood. We found I don't know what you
Oh
call it.
yeah.
It was on the ground, and it looked like they took sticks and weaved a circle with it on the ground. It weaved it. You know, I've seen that. Then I started looking around at the brakes, and each brake had an individual, a snap signature of its own, and that's what I tried to figure out, and it was hard as hell to do, but I did it barely. I figured what I'm seeing is it was for family members, you know, to how to get from one place to the
Yeah.
other without being seen, plus water supply, food, trails.
Well,
Uh,
you've seen that. Plenty of blackberries, everything.
oh my God, my arms are still scarred up. Still scarred up.
Well, you're the one that couldn't resist the berries.
Well, they were good, but we gotta get in there again with a four wheeler. That's gonna make the easiest way, the fastest way to get back in there. Because I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, going a half a mile back up in them woods, and I'll grant you that is one of the prettiest spots I've ever seen ever.
I
Had
told you
had
the videos don't do it justice.
had two waterfalls right there at the camp. Nice little stream. Had a beaver dam behind it. Hardwood, pines, ton of shale rock. I ain't never seen so many shale rock in my life. Lot of uh, uh, air shafts, little miniature caves, you know, to get out of the water, you know, get out of the rain and everything. Do you remember when I walked up to that one and looked in that one cave?
Yeah.
There was a squatch around
Yeah, I
there.
remember that.
There was a squatch around there. Bono picked it
I
out.
figured there was.
Yeah, Bono found it.
I thought they had a film we was being watched.
Yeah, 'cause he seen from about right here up of one. It was over to
Peeping
okay.
over.
Yeah, it was one over to the left of us in that brush pile, looking over a log. It was a little juvenile.
Yeah.
Was watching me. Now I've noticed that the little ones in my area follow me around. And I've noticed at certain times of the walk that the juveniles only were following us because I don't think the adults minded them doing that because they knew you. They didn't know me yet. They were still
Yeah.
getting used to me until I started speaking to them. Then when I started speaking, that's when things went pretty good, you know. But I found so many things in there that was just phenomenal, man. I mean, phenomenal. Everything.
But I told you there was a lot of tracks here too that I couldn't get on picture. This place is eat up with tracks.
Yeah, you know, and that's something people don't realize, you know. I was trying to tell people, you know, I mean, you got a ton of tracks. The problem is, it's like some places,
Ain't no motorcycles.
yeah, it was like some places in my area, you know, where you can get a good track, you know. I mean, we walked along the creek beds.
I am the speed.
we went along the creek beds. We didn't find any. Well, we found a couple of tracks, but they were, well, you could tell that it was a squash.
Yeah.
Uh, but most of the place, was hard. It's kind of like my area. It's kind of hard, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
get. I mean, yeah, it's hard to get a track. As far as seeing them, oh, you could see a ton of tracks. I mean, these trails we was on,
Yeah.
95% of them were squatch trails. Period. There was no,
Yeah.
and it was phenomenal, man.
I,
He,
one thing I've noticed here too, the deer like to follow the squatch trails too.
yeah, cause
They seem to follow the squatch trails more than they do their own.
yeah, because like I told you, every creature, every animal is gonna walk a trail of least resistance, and that's what these squatches are doing. That's why I told you. I said, look at these trails. Look how these trails are going up this ridge here. So they're taking the least the weight for the least what's that word? The least amount of resistance to get from point A to point B faster and
Yeah.
not get tired. You know, and it was pretty cool. Continue
It's
on.
just like where that one cast that the controversy over that big footprint cast. At least you
Yeah,
know now where I found it at and how hard the soil is. That is not soft mud there.
no, it's not. 18 inches. That's a big ass track. But like I said, I took and
That one I found down in that creek bottom.
oh yeah,
In what I
okay,
call my summer area. That's
yeah,
where I found it at.
oh okay. But um, go ahead and take over for a minute. I got to get me a cup of coffee. So continue talking on.
Okay. But that night when Fred pissed that one off, the way he said it was what was so funny. But we did find a structure that I've never seen before, and I haven't seen no other ones. The way Fred described it in his video, to me, it looks like a big wishbone almost. And the way it's put together, it's hard to explain how it was put together. But there's a stick coming out at the top of it, going to a tree. Behind the tree, there was like a little teepee structure. There was a stick holding the prongs up, but it wasn't natural. It was not natural.
I think I
It
saw
shocked
that
me because I've
picture.
never seen it before.
Don't posted that
That's the
picture,
picture
didn't you?
I took. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was the
think I saw.
oddest structure I found yet.
Huh.
But
Wonder
I
what?
did show
Wonder
that
what in the world it meant.
cast that Daniel kicked about.
Uh-huh.
About that he said those lines that were actually pine needle lines were dermal lines. Fred saw the original cast. He looked at it. And he showed
Yeah.
there are foot wrinkles in it
I,
above what Daniel was talking about. That's when I posted that picture of that cast. That's what I was. I wasn't talking about down at the heel. I saw
yeah.
what Fred saw at the top of the foot, not the heel.
I saw that too. I saw that video um where y'all showed it and the wrinkles that were in the
Yeah, I
foot.
thought he
Yeah.
did one of the baby hand too, but he didn't. I thought he did a video, had it on there too, but apparently he didn't get it.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
looked at it real good, and it is not possum, and it is not a coon.
No, it's not.
You know what
Okay,
cast I'm
It's
talking about,
not.
Fred, the hand print?
Yeah,
Leo,
it's not. Yeah.
what is do you like dank memes? What is that? Do you, if you don't, then I have to impale you. Your son is on there again.
Hang on and let me beat his ass. I'm sorry.
Jen, Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, shoot.
He should know that during the live
I can't.
He does.
podcast.
He does know.
Uh-huh. I,
I'm
let
sorry. Hang on.
let me get a hold of him.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, what was you talking about, Connie?
I was talking about the cast, the hand, the baby hand, and the other one with the pine needle
Oh yeah,
ridges in it.
yeah, yeah. I took and I looked. I made a video of them, all them cast, and I looked at the one Daniel was looking at. What he saw was lines going across right there at the top part of the heel, which were pine needles or wrinkles in the mud. Up. Here, I'll do it this way. All right, this is one of my casts,
Where'd it
okay?
go?
Okay, I'm right here. All right, right here is the top of the heel. All right, for the first from here to here, there were lines going across. All right, that is what he was looking at. Right up here, underneath the ball, there were wrinkle marks and everything. So he didn't see them, but the thing is, he was looking at the wrong things, as far as the dermal ridges. He wasn't looking at dermal ridges. You couldn't hardly see the dermal ridges on it. But you could see right here that there was wrinkles in the foot, bottom of the foot. And that's what I caught on the video. All you gotta do is go to one of our videos. I think the last one I made before I left there. I did the video of the cast and everything.
Yeah, I
And
saw it.
yeah, so that was pretty interesting. I mean, but that one track was 18 inches long, and I got a feeling that the one that come out behind me, um, the one that come out behind me when we were sitting there, I turned around. It was probably, oh, I don't know, 25, 30 yards behind me in the tree line. It was right off the trail. It was right directly behind me. But I had another big tree right behind me about 20 yards, and that's where that little one was standing because I could see him. I could see pieces of him coming out, like that, looking at us. So I don't know. I don't know if it was one, but I know we had more than two juvies around the camp the whole time we was there. The first day, the next morning after the first night, we found tracks where they come from back corner of the stream. Okay. Angel Bigfoot Walker said, "What else did y'all guys find?" Well, the structures we found was really interesting. Uh, I found plenty of food sources. She's got a beaver pond there, which they use the hide for whatever. The scent gland from the beaver would be used for. Yes, we saw 8 squatches around us from the first night on. To my right, up on the road, about 50 yards away, there was a big one and a small one. And I'm sitting there and I'm pointing at them. I'm looking at them. We're both looking at them, and they just sat there. They got up. They come toward us, and then they took a left and went down in the wood line. And then that's when Connie seen the 12-footers step out, and then the juveniles step out. We heard we heard a baby squatch twice. Um, Behind her, about 30 yards, we had a squatch there. I pissed him off because I told him, I said, I see you. Uh, and I mean, they were everywhere around us. And when I started teaching Connie,
Actually, that night when you said I see you, that's when I saw the one standing about 30 yards behind you with the red eye shine.
Ooh, I forgot about that one. And he went over toward the where the
I just
baby was.
remembered it. I forgot about it too.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
cool, you know. I mean, I have sightings in my areas, you know, but my area is a pressured area because during the summertime you don't see nobody, but during the wintertime we got hunters in there, so they leave the area. And in Connie's area, they are there all year round. Okay, Angel, Bigfoot Walker says, how do you know they understand what you are saying? Well, it's very it's very it's very simple. I was teaching her ancient Cherokee dialect, and I was teaching her something that Scott Carpenter taught me, and a couple other things that I knew. Whenever they did something, I told Connie to say ehina. So she said ehina, which means thank you, and they responded to it. When I said dode tishu dewa oshigwatsu, and she learned that, they responded to her. They wouldn't respond to me like he did her, because I would teach her how to say it, and then she would start to say it, and I would help her along. By the time she got it, they were responding to what she was saying. Because it's like the way I see it, you know, in every area. Uh, I caught some auto recording in my area. I sent it to a Cherokee spiritualist lady in Arizona. She's a Cherokee, and she teaches ancient Cherokee dialect language. And when she sent me to tape back, she said, what you have here is ancient Cherokee dialect, and in your area in Kentucky and surrounding states, they speak Cherokee dialect. Okay. She said, but you said to them, I see you in English. Yes, I did say it in English. They do understand English because when I said
Yeah,
I
'cause I
see,
talk to them all the time.
yeah, because when I said I see you, all hell broke loose. So yeah, they understand English. Okay, Leo.
Well, think about a smart dog understands 50 or 75 words. If you talk to them and play with them and spend time with them,
So you're saying
and
mimicking?
Bigfoot are known to mimic too. But I'm just saying, if they've been
Yeah,
around listening to people talk for 1,000+ years, or
yeah.
they're bound to pick up, and which is why the ancient Cherokee would
Okay,
be suitable because they have been around the natives so many years.
right. Now I got a
But
question. Okay, okay, great question. All right, great comeback. All right, I got a question from Daniel Benoit of the ECBO 98.
Okay, now here.
Where did they learn English? Well, my my
Now,
my my theory is I have no idea, and that's being honestly because I don't know. I can say this, I can say that, but I'm not going to say it because I really don't know. But they do, but they have been caught speaking English. Now, some people say, "Oh, they're just mimicking," but I have I've seen videos of them out in the mountains, and you could hear them speaking English. You know, I don't know. What do you think, Connie?
they had to learn it somehow. I don't know how, but I do know they understand it because before you came here, talk with them. I told them I was bringing a friend in to camp out with me for a few days
Thank you,
and to
Daniel.
be nice to him. Don't throw no rocks or sticks or nothing like that. And they listened. And when they zapped him, I told them to stop it, and they did. So how would they know what to do what stop it meant if they didn't understand English? Because it's just a few minutes after I told them to stop zapping Fred, they stopped zapping him. He never got zapped no more.
Yeah. Then they started getting
But I
real.
talk to him all the time when I go out. Yeah, you started getting swimmy headed and everything. Because I thought at first it was the sun, and then it dawned on me you was being zapped. And that's when I set the cooler down and I squalled at him to stop it.
Yeah. Well,
That it wasn't
Chad.
nice.
Yeah,
And they
Chad.
did.
Yeah, Chad knows no NOSKI said zapped. Is Sasquatch a effing wizard? No. It's like a bear, like elephants, like whales, everything.
Dogs, cats.
Yeah. Being okay. Daniel's got a good question. I got to explain this. Okay. Being zapped. Okay, here we go. Boy, he's busting my balls tonight. Okay, being zapped. It's a form. Way Paul Holzer tells me it's a form of infrasound. Uh, like a Siamese cat. If you ever think about this, a Siamese cat will sit there in the kitchen and look out the patio door and see a bird, and he'll watch it. He'll stare at that bird, and that bird will hit the ground. Um, Animals can do things like that. Don't know how. Yeah, infrasound. Yeah, it's that's the closest I can come because because I had to ask what infrasound was, and Paul Holsley told me exactly what it was that he knew about it. Because I think ultrasound is when you could pick something up on your auto recorder like paranormal, like when I got that drumming that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Daniel says I know what it
Like
is.
an EVP.
Yeah, okay. Daniel says I know what it is, just for the other viewers. Okay, go ahead and explain it, and I'll read it. Because if you know, okay, it's cool. No biggie, because we're all here to learn. That's the main thing, and everything.
Yeah.
All right. So continue on, Connie.
I just forgot where I was at.
Okay.
I know what infrasound is.
Okay. What is infrasound?
Infrasound
Actually, the best way to compare infrasound. The best way to compare infrasound is with a bat. Because they can
that's
be.
radar.
A bat uses infrasound when it comes to because a bat is blind and his hearing is what he uses. That's like when we were kids. We used to take rocks and throw them up in the air and have sticks. So when the rock fell, the bat would come after it, and we would hit the bats. They would chase
That
it
was
for
nice.
food. Oh well, we were kids, and everything. Well, squatches. Squatches teach us. All right. Daniel said, "I just wanted you to say because someone chat brought it up." Okay, it's a cool question. Yeah, because infrasound is something that everybody wants to learn. What is
You
it?
just still didn't let me tell you what it is.
All right, go ahead. I was just reading.
Infrasound is a noise that animals can make, and sometimes it's made by electrical systems, sometimes it's made by rocks and things within the earth. It is a very, very low frequency sound that
Yep.
you can't hear. You don't realize you're hearing it, but it vibrates your insides. It vibrates your brain, your stomach. It will vibrate your insides enough to make you feel sick or have a headache or whatever.
Right.
And yes, lions and elephants and
Disoriented.
whales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or give you a paranoid feeling, too.
Okay.
That's what infrasound is. You can't hear it, but it's affecting you.
Right. Justin82 much said, I've never been zapped, but I've seen two squatches on my Uncle Teddy's property in Texas. Now, I tell you, I'm part of the Squatch Unlimited crew, and Maximus Deaconus sent me and Daniel the hell's that thing? A night vision camera. Well, but we had problems with it, and everything.
Infrared.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was infrared, because the only thing we got on was the game board busting his ass, and the picture of Daniel and the picture of the son, because it didn't work halfway that night, But the thing about it was, Um, let's see. Jersey said uh, they might have a bigger brain than humans, more capabilities. Yeah, I agree with that. But keep in mind, we don't prove that
I do
squatches do
too.
this. Fleur, that's it. Yeah, Dan's right. Fleur. That's the fleur we used. Yeah, it was the fleur. Yeah, because the that night that me and Daniel camped out, we heard a massive yell somewhere back in the mountains, and plus something set off his camera. We don't know what the hell it was yet. We still don't know. Well, I mean, but in Daniel's area, my area, Connie's area, they're all doing the exact same thing. But in Connie's area, these guys are brave. They do not fear us. The whole time we was there, like when I walked up on the power line, I just turned my head to the right. That little one just stepped out and just stood there and looked at me until I threw my hand and said, "Hey, how are you?" And he went back on in the woods. There are paths in there. There are cave systems in there. I mean, they was watching us the whole freaking time we was there, but we just did not adjust our eyes to seeing them because they. Okay, Nincompoop says controversy is a good start. Well, yeah, it is. But the thing about it is, with these, in these areas in Virginia and in Kentucky, West Virginia, like over in Shakey's area, uh, Steve Peck's area. He's got them up behind his house on that ridge area. And a couple times he's left and come back, and there will be logs laying across the driveway. And he checks the trees out, and the trees are not from that particular area. They come from another area. But the thing is, they are they are moving stuff. And in Connie's area, mainly we've seen X's in the middle of the trails. We've seen um, um, we've seen trees knocked over, pushed over, bent over. You know, I don't know how we. I do know that a couple of them got pissed off because I moved some of their structures so we can get through. And Connie liked that part, didn't you, Connie?
Yeah, 'cause I knew they was going to get pissed 'cause I don't never touch them.
All right, you
I
take it
always
from
go
here.
around them. Yeah, you knocked down a lot of them structures and you pissed them off pretty bad. 'Cause I never move them. I just usually just walk around them and just leave them be. But Fred, he was plowing.
Well, usually I don't
And then we
touch a
come to one
structure.
spot.
Do what? Oh, she got the giggles.
She's got the giggles. Look out.
Oh, okay. Here's a question from Angel Bigfoot
It's
Walker.
funny.
All right, here's a question.
Okay.
Here's a question from Bigfoot Walker. What's the closest you got to a squatch this weekend? What would we say, about 3 feet, 4 feet?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah. And I didn't get to see it. Damn it.
That was closest. Actually, it was closer than
How close
because it
was
was
it?
right in my face. Well, let's see. Like about that close. My face was here, and it was here.
That's what you
Waking you
get
up.
for
I was just worried about
sleeping
going
like
back
a
to
log.
sleep. All I could hear was Fred snoring anyway.
Well, but
But it was
you,
just peeking inside the tent door with them big, pretty green eyes. That's the first
yeah,
time I ever seen a green-eyed one. Glowing green-eyed.
yeah, the green
I
eyes
guess you could
mean,
call it glow, but it was pretty.
okay, the first eyeball I seen was yellow. The second ones I seen was a bluish, greenish yellow. All right, you got
Uh,
checking you out. you got checking you out but curious. Then when you get solid green, that is solid curiosity. Like he's a little skittish, but he's trying to get closer. And 82 much said 3 feet from a squatch. Dang, I'll be scared to heck. No, do not be scared, man. Believe it or not, these guys. I never felt threatened the whole time I was there. I was like a kid with a lot. I was like a kid in a, I was like a kid in a candy shop, you know. And it was, you know. I mean, it's God. There's so much. There's so much. There was so much in there, you know, that I was busting out the seams to learn, you know. And I was learning, you know. I never said there was a lot I didn't say, but a lot. But you know, I taught Connie a lot, and Connie taught me a lot and about her area. You know, where we was at, no one knew anything because no one would have the
Nope.
balls to go back that far. And the picture y'all
Put it
saw,
this way, I walked Fred's butt off.
uh,
That wasn't hard to do. I think Connie got it. Sorry, Fred.
that's all right.
Only thing that really got to Fred was the humidity.
Oh,
He stayed
yeah.
soaking wet the whole time he was here.
I know.
Only time he had dry clothes on was when we'd come to the house and he'd change clothes. By the time we'd get back to camp, he'd be soaking wet again.
I know, man. We lived in the mountains 15 years with low humidity. The first 2 years we were back here, I damn near died. And I was raised in it. Yeah. It ain't no dry heat either. All right, carry on, Fred.
I think we got him.
Yeah. Um,
Sorry.
we went across the creek the third day, and we walked the wood line, and I trailed them. I tracked, and the track was like non-continuous. You know, you crossed the creeks back and forth. You know, and it went around to this one area. And if you look at the videos, in one of the videos, the second to I think it's one of the fourth or fifth one, the last one, is there was a particular structure that went from wait a minute here. Okay, it went from
Okay, I know which one you're talking about. The one I said
yeah, right there where it started.
they keep adding to.
Yeah, the one they start on the left, and they bent it all the way over to the
Yeah,
right, and then they bent another one from right to underneath of it all the way over to the backside, and then added some.
they keep adding to that one.
Yeah, and right over underneath that first bend, there is a small little Indian teepee that they built.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm looking at is a continuously on um, construction and say, you know, like if they're in that area, you know, they'll bounce over and they'll add to it,
Yeah.
you know. And I noticed a lot of other things. I noticed there's a lot of other things that they do, you know, that I can't figure out. All right, continue on, Connie.
Yeah, there's a lot like that here that I can. All right. Like I said, that one you just talked about. They've been working on that one for years. They just keep adding and adding and adding to it. I don't know why. It just keeps going. It's starting to go around now. 'Cause
Ryan
I've
has
not been
one like
keeping
that
an eye
too.
on it for the past couple of years now.
Hmm.
They just keep adding to. That's in my summer spot where that was at. But there was one spot I was going to show you and forgot to show you when you was here. There's and another holler from that one we come out at. There's a big to go up the holler. Somehow or another, they've moved this log. They've pushed it away from the bank. And this log, there's not one person. A person couldn't move it as big as it is.
Okay, Connie.
And I've
Dan,
noticed it lately they've moved.
yeah, Daniel's dad asked a question here. He said, talk about when that Juby peeked inside the tent. Explain that to him.
Well, for the whole time we was there, from the first couple of nights, it would peek around the tree. And then the last night we was woke me up. When I raised up, looked out the door, there its face was looking right at me. So I just laid back down, zipped the tent door shut, and started to go back to sleep, and then I heard it walk off. But when I looked at it, I could see its eyes glowing. I don't know if it's glowing or reflecting from the light that was coming through the trees, but they was the prettiest green eyes I ever saw.
Yeah.
And after I zipped it, I could hear it walking, leaving.
How
But
far
it never
apart were the
made
eyes?
never made no grunts or nothing. They
No,
was wider apart than mine. Let's say about this far, about that far apart. But I could see the outline of it.
Yeah, the
I know
eyes
it
were.
was the same one that had been
Yeah,
peeking
yeah,
around the tree.
the eyes were about like take the inside of the eye and put them on the halfway point of our eyeball going out. Yeah, the color.
I
Yeah,
guess they come out like that, right there.
yeah, the color of the eyes.
Yeah.
That's about
Uh,
how far apart they was.
yeah, each.
They was a real pretty green.
Yeah, every time a when the squatch looked at you, like when they looked at me, I seen a yellow eye. All right, that is a sign of contentment, curiosity, and contentment. Then when you see a kind of a greenish color, it's curiosity, but a little skittish, like they're curious about something. Then when they're close, they're very, very, very curious. Because if they got a red tint, that means that they are pissed about something or don't like what they're seeing. And we were no threat. You know, we didn't bother them.
Nope.
They come around us, you know, and that was the best thing about it, you know. If you want to learn about a Sasquatch, sit in camp and let them come to you. You just sit there and let them do the work. And that's what they were doing the whole night. The ones up on the ridge there, up on that road watching us, you know, they knew that I was pointing at it and saying, look, right there, there's two of them right there. And they heard me, and they just sat there and just watched. Never moved a bit until they got up and come toward us, toward the side of the road, and then come down, and then took a left, went into wood line. So they stayed within, I'd say.
Well, actually, if you remember Fred, the next day when we came back out after that first night, we went up to my mom's. Same night, that night, remember we had the first night we was down there, we had activity, and the same time we was having an activity, my mom was having it at her house. You remember her telling us about it?
Yeah.
You should have told them to go all take a bath. And then set your game cams out.
That's what she does.
Maybe you could have got them swimming in the pool.
That's what she does. Oh, they know better to get in the pool again.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You should have put your game cams out and got your mama to holler at them to go take a bath in the pool. Of course, you'd had to buy 10 gallons of bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you, last night, yesterday, I had a treat. I was on Bono's show, being interviewed on his show last night.
Yeah.
Pre-recorded, you know, and I was really surprised when he asked me to be on there. I thought Connie had something to do with it, but she didn't know either, I don't think. Did you, Connie?
No, I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know nothing about it. It was a surprise to me too.
It was good. It was nice.
I didn't have nothing to do with it. I swear, cross my heart. I didn't have a thing to do with it.
Yeah. Well, Wednesday I have an interview with Ed Brown, and September 19th, me, Sharon Day, and another guy's going to have a roundtable conversation with uh, Vegas Paranormal Group out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Cool.
So it's going to be pretty interesting, and I
We
think
still got another show with Bono the 24th.
that's right. Yes, that's right. The 24th, both of us going to be on Bono's show.
Me and you both.
Yeah, so it's going to prove to be a pretty interesting show,
Cool.
Okay, Daniel said 2017 I'll be going to Washington State to do some squatching. I have a place to stay already, but others are welcome, but we'll have to camp out on the property and everything. That sounds pretty cool. Washington State. You will not catch me. You will not catch me. Uh-oh. Where am I at here? Oh, fiddle shit. Anyway, you will not catch me on an airplane.
Oh, hell no.
No, an airplane is something that I don't like. Period. I'll work on them.
Be right back.
I'll run them. All right. I'll work on them. I'll run them up and down the, run them up and down the, run them up and down the strip. But the second they leave the ground, I'm leaving. I'm jumping out of the plane. And it's very interesting. But yeah, folks, what we did this week, was a learning process, even though because that's why we started this Virginia, Kentucky group, with the experience I got and the knowledge I got and the experience and knowledge that Connie's got in her area, we seem to make a pretty good team, and because we take all our information and put it on our page, and we use it for training purposes. And anybody who anybody has some information to share and want to help teach us or teach others, put it on her, and we'll and it's also a learning process for us, and that's the fun thing about it. And I kind of I kind of get into it, and it's pretty wild. Okay, let's see what we got here. Nigger poop. Yeah, I'll walk too. Yeah, I say the same thing. What's about a jet? You see, that's what I said about a jet. Yeah. It will be between April and May. Okay, April and May. Biff Burke from Rick Dyer's group. Been a student, been in stunt planes and helicopters. Jets are different. Okay, that's fine for you. If you got the balls to do it, more power to you, buddy, because I sure as hell ain't going to get no airplane. I would rather stay on the ground and squatch. It's safer. I really believe, if something would have happened to one of us that night, if we was attacked by something, I believe they would have they would have come in, not into the camp, but holy moly, I just heard a big gunshot. But I believe they would have got a hold of whatever it was and got rid of it, Like I say, they trust Connie. They listen to her. They understand English. And I hope that she still continues to use the language that I taught her, because I will be teaching more of it to her, And and every time while I was teaching her, they would listen to me, but when they wanted taken, they listen to me, but when they listen to me teach Connie that, and then Connie speaks it, she gets reaction. You know, I mean, it's very interesting. Uh, for English language, Cherokee language. Um, I, I mean, there's so much out there that we could learn from these guys. All you got to do when you go out in the woods, look, observe, listen, use your eyes, use your nose, use your senses. Look at the structures, study them. I put a couple weeks ago. I put Connie took some pictures of some bend breaks. I took pictures of breaks, and but each break I took had a specific reason to be bent like that, and that's what you got to learn. Once you figure out why or how they broke them like that, then you'll start to learn exactly there's ways as far as like which way they're going, um, how far they're going, what the structures mean, because each structure has a particular meaning to it that we have to learn, and you're not going to learn it overnight. I mean, I've been in this for 30 years, and I am still learning. Every time I see a different structure, it's fascinating. Like, I'll give you a prime example. I'm down in just one area last year, and I see right next to the creek, I see two trees, and I see a little limb laid from one tree to the other, and there's a path right there. So what I do, I pick the stick up, I walk through between the trees, I turn around, and I laid the stick back down where I found it, and I said ehina, and I got a reaction. I heard a grunt, which means they understood. They understood when I said thank you for thank you for letting me come into your bedroom. Because when I picked that sticks up and I went through there, I think I walked into their bedroom because they was up in about 20 yards up in the thicket watching me, and I was being very respectful. And then it hit me. You show them respect, they will show you respect and everything. And that's what people has got to learn when you go out squatching. It's not about cameras, thermos, scientific proof, and all that crap. It doesn't mean none of that. Common sense is all you need. If you start using your common sense, it's like deer hunters. You know, yeah, you got some that go to college, but that's just to make food for deer. But to go out in the woods and understand deer, you've got to get out there and you've got to watch. You got to study them, what they're doing. Look how they're doing it. Why they're doing. What's the purpose that they're doing? Why are they uh, changing their routes in the middle of at the change of a season, going from spring to summer into fall and into rut season. Okay, I see that. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, basically, they they squatches are the same way. You just got to get out there and you gotta look, learn, and listen. Listen to, I mean, any type of noise. Like I was teaching Connie, a bird, a dove makes a particular note. Well, say five or six certain birds that in Kentucky and Virginia that could take
Yeah.
and they make a particular sound that a squatch cannot make. Like I come out of the woods one day and I'm standing there and I hear what I think was a dove behind me. And all of a sudden, between me and my camp, there's another sound, another dove sound. But the more I listened, something didn't sound right, and they told me, "Hey, buddy, you were just being followed coming off that ridge." And they followed me while I walked down that trail until I got to a certain point, and they kept doing the dove sounds, and I knew it was them. But when you go in the woods, if you know your wildlife, you gotta listen to the particular sounds that these birds make. Particular sounds like a wounded sound, like me and Daniel heard a sound one night. It sounded like a baby squash crying. And I'll tell you, the reason I say baby squash was because what we heard we thought was baby squash. I checked out everything. It was not a bear. It wasn't no known creature. Then when I went to Connie's, I heard the exact same sound. The only difference was the sound I heard at Connie's was a younger one. So that told me that that was a baby squatch. So then, then you listen to how they sound, then you know what to listen for. And then you have your young ones who who are being taught how to make sounds. You know, no, I can just say that.
If
Every
you
animal has,
remember that one
yeah,
night, remember I said I thought I heard one mimic a whippoorwill? I
yeah,
know it wasn't a whippoorwill though. And I could tell it wasn't a whippoorwill because it didn't sound like it didn't hit that last note right.
yeah.
It was,
That's
I don't
what
know,
you
it's hard to
said.
explain.
Well, they, I mean,
Because I,
they,
I play with the whippoorwills
yeah, yeah, because you were making whippoorwill sounds and they was coming back, but you could hear that they was
here.
off on that particular last note. But hell,
Yeah.
they wasn't no more.
They went
They
that
would.
last note. It's a high pitch.
Yeah, I mean, they were no more than 20 yards from us. Well, say 30 yards because you got to think you got to go across the
Uh,
creek and back in the brush there. But
yeah.
they stood, they were they were there the whole practically until we went to bed. What? Okay. Someone says, "What the f do you talking about?" Okay. When squatches imitate birds, a whippoorwill, dove, blue jay, robin, there's a particular note in the bird's voice that a squatch cannot hit. And when they try to imitate it, they'll go high or go low, but they cannot hit that particular note. That is what gives them away. But you got to know exactly what kind of critter it's making. Like I know my bird sounds to a point, but all the known birds I know. Now you got a what they call a brown-chested hermit bird, which is a bird who stays from the ground and 3 feet up to his nest, and he'll run back and forth, and all you hear is that's all you hear, you know, and that's a little off, but I've never heard a squatch mimic that, but I've heard doves, I've heard blue jays. Um, I had Daniel and a girl in my area one day, and we went into the birthing area, then we went around to another area, and then I told the girl, I said, get up on the logger and make a sound. Well, she did. About 30 yards out, there was a juvenile squatch or a squatch trying to mimic a certain particular animal sound. And he was horrible, but you could tell that he was trying to make the sound. And that's what they try to do. So as they are growing up, they get better and better and better, but there's still a few notes that they cannot hit with their voice box. Sasquatch is the only critter that I know of who has a vocal cord. Vocal cords for speaking. You know, my opinion is they are a human hybrid mixed with the hominin. The hominin is what we don't know. Yeah. And, well, we don't know. But we do know for a fact that speak. They speak ancient Cherokee dialect. I've heard Spanish. I've heard Cherokee. I've heard Apache, Shoshone, Crow, Blackfoot. What's that one? Shoshone. These are all the video. These are all recordings in these different Indian languages that I've heard a Squatch make. You know, and it's pretty fascinating how they do it. Continue on, Connie.
That like Cherokees really eat that, And like you said, they do understand it. Because look how they was responding to me. They barely did
Yeah,
respond to you when you spoke it, but when I spoke it, they really turned on.
yeah, because they knew I was
But the
teaching you
squat,
how
like
to
I said,
speak
the
it.
squatches here, everybody that lives around in this area and that knows all about them. They've been,
Yeah,
these squatches has been here for generations. And nobody pays no attention to them. Everybody just leaves them be.
yeah,
Cause you
because they're
never,
not.
cause Fred found that out while he was here,
Yeah, and I mean, everybody
talking
said,
to
yeah,
people and that.
yeah, and they say, yeah, we know they're here, but they don't bother us and we don't bother them, I mean, a lot of people say, yeah, we see them,
Yep.
but we'll see them in passing, like we're out in the backyard mowing the grass or something, we'll see a couple of them standing up in the woods, but they don't bother us, so we ain't gonna bother them, It's like let
No,
live, it's like hi neighbor, how are you, or something like that.
live and let live.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
Like
it's
I said, was that with the whippoorwill?
that was
That
very
with the whippoorwill,
interesting.
that was fascinating as all get out.
Yeah,
Because I
but
know
tell
my
people,
whippoorwills. Because I said when the whippoorwills come around, I always whistle back at them, and I could draw whippoorwills right onto my porch from whistling
yeah,
at them.
cool. All
And
right, now
that one that we heard that night, that was not a whippoorwill
well, tell people
for sure.
yeah, well, tell people what you learned when I was up there, when I taught you.
He taught me how to read trails better, how to find the trails better, and that. Because I admit, so he taught me how to slow down and study the areas. And by slowing down and looking, you can find the trails easily. And that you can tell which way you can follow which way they went, how they came through, everything, where they walk. Plus, he's taught me more Cherokee to where I could talk to them more. And like I said, like they respond more and that. Plus, he's taught having to recognize, to notice how to read together, tied together. I gotta think here.
Yeah. Oh, hey,
You taught me so
please.
much I can't remember it all, but I know it when I'm out in the field.
Yeah. Check this little camera I just got. You take and strap it to your shirt, like this
Oh
right
my
here,
God, that's a little bitty thing.
a little thing like that. Yeah, I got it at Wally World. It's $19, man. Takes an SD card and everything. You can do video, you can take pictures, all sorts of things. So this will come in handy and everything. Did you say you had a question, Leo?
Let's just hope it don't draw humidity like the GoPro did.
I took that photograph and I zoomed it in, and
Mm-hmm.
you could see a face in that orb behind the camp. You can see two eyes, a
That
nose.
blue one,
Yes,
blue orb.
you can see two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and a face, just like the one you can on mine, back up on the coal roads. The only difference was the one that we caught
Yeah.
off the GoPro had a shape, had a shape of a head and a neck on it. The other one,
Yeah.
mine, you could just see a face inside it. So that could, uh, you could say it might be Squatch spirit or something, because when I took that picture of that X and you spotted that green orb and you zoomed in on it and saw
Yeah.
that Indian. Now I sent that picture to Sharon
Indian.
Day. Yeah, I sent that picture to Sharon Day, and she looked at it. She said that she saw it was a female Indian girl, but she really didn't know. She really couldn't see the squatch and everything, but you could plainly see the squatch on there, leaning around a tree, like talking to it.
Yeah.
And that was that. And
Yeah.
that was very fascinating to me. It's because that tells me that on that particular area and that particular time, where that's where the Cherokees and the Squatches combined together
Yep.
in that particular area. So you had two spears come together, as one. Now, if you think about that, where's that going to take you?
Paranormal.
Yeah, that's one. Uh, let's see. Okay, Mark Alex says, hi, Fred. Angie Bigfoot Walker says, do you have this picture posted anywhere? Uh, yeah, go to, uh, dang.
DAKY.
I got them in my record. I got to post them. Uh, we got the one. Are you talking about the blue orb behind the camp, or the green orb with the Indian and the Squatch in it? If if you're talking about that one, I think Connie's got it
Because that
on.
one we got posted.
Yeah. Where do we
Yeah.
got posted at?
It's
Go.
on my group. It's in my group. It's in your group. Our group. I
Yeah, it's
posted
been
it in
posted.
several places.
Yeah.
I don't know how to screen share, but go to my timeline, which shows me standing on a log, and just scroll to pictures, and you'll see it. It's like a big X, and you over to the right of it, you'll see a green orb, or it'll be three
A big
pictures there.
green blurry
Yeah,
spot.
and one picture's got writing on it. Just take that
Yeah,
picture.
that's what
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
yeah, take that
Yeah.
picture and click on it, and hit save, and go down the corner, and you'll see open. Hit that open, and you can use your mouse, and you can zoom it in and see what we're looking at. Because we were sitting there looking at it on the computer, and Connie said, "Let me try this." So she took and started zooming in, and you could see the Indian girl, and you could see the Squatch. The Indian girl was sitting there with her arms crossed like this,
Hmm.
laid against a tree.
Had black paint across her eyes.
Yeah, yeah, black across her
And
eyes.
then the Squatch was, let's see,
The
the
Squatch was
Squatch
leaning
was
around.
leaning toward her right shoulder.
Exactly.
It's a good
He was
picture,
leaning right toward her.
Yeah.
but
Uh,
Fred,
Angel, wait a minute. Angel, if I could screen share, I would. Let's see, it says, oh, I have to create a new Facebook page. I don't have any way of seeing it.
uh,
Um, are you on a computer or are you on a phone? Okay, go ahead, Leo.
well, I have said in the past we've talked about whether Bigfoot's paranormal or not, and right now, most of us in this group, anyway, at this time, are going with it's flesh and blood, and not paranormal. But I've said before, Bigfoot are seen so often in places that are known to be haunted. And so I wonder, do they go to those places that are known to be haunted because people don't go to those places? And so you may very well get Bigfoot activity and a ghost just because the Bigfoot are hanging out. Apparently, they're not scared.
I know
You know.
both my
Say what?
so that could be a good possibility.
So, I saw a ghost on when Beth and I went camping with Fred and Dan in Virginia. I saw a woman standing in pitch black, but I saw her standing there clear as day, and in 3-4 seconds she was gone.
I don't know.
I
Both
think,
my areas, each area, my summer and my winter area, each one has a graveyard in them.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
She does have a graveyard.
and there are a lot of ghost hunters to go to old churches and graveyards and things, to to ghost
That sounds like
hunt,
me.
and they end up seeing a squatch. They may not see any ghosts, but
Yep.
there are a lot of reported sightings in graveyards. So it may be that squatch are hanging out in places where people aren't as apt to go because it's haunted or whatever.
Makes sense.
That's just one of my thoughts.
It makes sense because before I started squatching, I used to ghost hunt all the time. Now I just do it around Halloween.
Halloween.
I've even got a couple of EVPs that I've gotten.
Yeah, I got some EVPs on that one audio I put behind camp. It sounded like metal pipe hitting metal. It's like someone had two pieces of metal pipe banging it on another piece of pipe. Then you hear, hey! Then you take and hear it again. Then you hear, hey! Then you hear it again. Then all of a sudden you hear a woman scream. Well, you take that audio and you slow it down 50%, and you could hear them talking English, which was
And that's the same. Isn't that the same area that we camped where I saw the woman standing in the tent in the middle of the night?
Yeah. See, we was next to the creek, but if we would have been in the middle one where I put my tent, it was right back about 15 feet back in the woods.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, I mean, every place, but in her area, hers goes back, her place goes back years and years and years and years and years. I'm talking about like over, what, 50, 75, 100 years, Connie, when y'all's place?
Yeah.
So, so there is a lot of family in that particular area. You got the cemetery up in there that I forgot you mentioned. We could have went up there, but, I would have went up there tonight, but that's too much of a walk for me. Thick.
Oh,
we killed ourselves.
Fred, you didn't want to leave the camp?
If you would have seen how we got back there, you wouldn't want to have left the camp.
Well, my granddaddy bought this piece of property in 1925, and we've got a lot of history too, and a lot of paranormal stuff here too. And Indians lived here.
You had
way
Cherokee
before that,
Yeah, you had Cherokee and Cheyenne down in your area, I think.
No, we had Tuscarora.
Tuscarora, that's right.
Yeah.
Tuscarora.
We had Tuscarora. The Cherokee were a little more west in North Carolina.
Well,
but
I know.
they were also South Carolina, Virginia, Georgia. But yeah, they were a little more west. We had Tuscarora.
That's cool. Connie, take over. I'm going to give me another cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know this area is haunted because, like I said, between both areas and around my house, I've seen things that can't explain. And like I said, that there used to be an old settlement down in there, long time ago. And the county road used to go through there, but now I can't tell which is the old county road and which is from the strip mine and everything else.
Yeah.
But I do know the area is haunted. Because I've seen stuff around the house here that I can't even explain. Like glowing orbs moving in and out through the trees. I'm like you. I honestly believe maybe the squatches do hang where it's haunted because they feel safer because they know people ain't going to go in them areas.
Exactly. I've been thinking that for a while. Because, like I said, I've seen a number.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does. I've seen a number of accounts of ghost hunters going in old cemeteries and seeing a squatch standing
Yeah.
in the edge of the woods. It does make sense. Because, you
Plus,
know,
they've heard breaks and everything else.
yeah.
Turn that down. So it does make a lot of sense.
I mean,
Dogs. But there's
you know,
also an old
we
moonshine, a real old moonshine still side too, that down in there.
oh, yeah.
Don't mind me, I'm trying to get comfortable. My ankles hurt.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that for a minute. I hope it's feeling better. Get it propped up.
It's swelling going, which I didn't tell Fred that when we was coming out that last day when we came out that I twisted my ankle.
Oh yeah.
I just kept going.
You dingy.
Well, if you remember when I stumbled, that's when
Yeah.
I did it. And it
That's
just kept going.
that's why you were lagging behind when it was raining real hard. We got
Oh, yeah.
we left the
That was,
cooler and we left the cooler and half our stuff out in the woods that night. Because I mean
that was just,
when it started raining, it come down like it was a massive storm. And it
It was in
lasted,
buckets.
yeah.
that when y'all were talking about how the creek or whatever was kind of dry, but then it was full and rushing the next day in one of the videos.
So this was the day we was near the last day. We was coming closer to the house, to camp close to the house, and we was hoping to get out of there and get the new camp spot set storm, because we heard the storm set up before it come a downpour, but it didn't work.
I'll tell you one
We ended up
thing.
getting caught in a downpour, and both of us ended up drenched.
Oh,
Well,
I was beyond drenched. I was so. I mean, the humidity there is so. It was like being on a
You
beach, man. You know.
stayed soaked.
you don't even know humidity, Fred. Damn. You don't even know
He didn't have by the
humidity.
time he left. He didn't have any dry clothes.
I mean, I know he's lived in Florida and down south, you know, in his past lives or, you know, whatever, but he's been back in the mountains a long time now, and man, humidity will beat your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you mix it with mosquitoes and
Yeah,
gnats,
I'm used
it's
to
a
it.
miserable damn time.
Well, but the main thing that eat me up was chiggers. God, them
That
little.
full of baby dicks.
Oh, shit.
That's all right. I got home and I took fingernail polish, and after I took a shower, and I started
I,
going to town on me.
yeah, fingernail polish. That's the best thing in the world. And we call them red bugs.
Them little ticks love Fred.
God damn.
Didn't you put some off on you or something
Yeah, twice.
in 4 days?
After he got him on him, he finally sprayed himself down with DEET.
Damn,
It was fun.
Fred. Oh, Lord. Yeah, get that fingernail polish out for the red bugs anyway, but ticks you gotta pull off yourself or have a
He
friend
couldn't
do
even
it.
picking them off. The fingernails to pull them out.
How many
It's
did you
funny.
get, Connie?
I had a few on me, but not that many.
Yeah, it was funny.
But for some reason,
Well,
they loved
from
Fred.
from where I come from, you stop every 5 or 7 minutes and look down at your feet and legs and get off what's crawling up and
Well,
move on, and then you stop in 5 more minutes and get them off again. I mean, if you're out in the woods.
well, I had my rattlesnake boots on, so they kind of matched the color of my boots, you know.
Okay,
It was fun.
I'm sure it was.
It was. So, I never laughed so much in my entire life as I did on this camp. That night he pissed that one off, though. The way he said, "I see you," I roll. It was funny. It's like you were talking to a little kid.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Cause I told her, I said, you want me? Cause
It's like, I see
a 10
you.
foot a 10 foot tall kid.
well, I tell you what, I told her I told her I said, would you like to see would you like to see me piss off a squash? She said, yeah. So I said, I see you.
I'd have said no. I don't want to
Oh,
see you piss off the squatch.
well, he did one of these numbers here. He went like this. He went like this, and I caught that eye shot. I caught that single eye shot,
Well,
and
I
I said,
know. I still wouldn't wanted you to piss him off.
oh, it was fun because I started laughing after that, and I know it pissed him off even worse when she started laughing. Because I mean, you could,
That's
he,
probably what pissed him off. Was y'all laughing at him?
he was about 8.5 foot tall.
I was laughing at Freddie.
So what you did, Fred, in the big scheme of things was when you walk around your area, you touch and look at the structures and things, but you're very
Yeah.
respectful and you move on. You went to Connie's area and busted through the structures and knocked them down and made
I
a
moved.
big damn mess and pissed
I
off
mo-
all the Bigfoot, and then you went back home and left her there to deal with it.
no, 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 no.
That's what he did.
I mean,
He went.
you're carrying between the two of us, we're carrying over 100 pounds plus the cooler full of food, and we're walking in swampy area up to our waist, and we're sweating like a bunch of dogs. And I got tired of crawling through there, so I said, "Hell with it." And I moved the structures, but I
Uh-huh.
did, but I didn't tear them down. I just moved them out of the way.
Okay. So what you did was like a grandparent. You got to babysit the grandbabies and filled them full of sugar, and then sent them back home to their mom and daddy, which is Connie, and now she's left with a damn bunch of pissed off Bigfoot, and you're safe at home in Virginia. I'm sorry. Sorry. You're not going to invite me on your shows anymore, are you?
Oh, my hurts.
That's
Uh,
all right, Connie. That's okay. Connie will invite me.
yeah. I mean, anyway, I mean, we had
Y'all
a
had
very,
a lot of great experiences. You got a lot of good pictures and video. Excuse me. And y'all had some very impressive goals. And I'm
well,
sorry to poke
yeah.
fun, but
Well, I mean,
you sure did. Y'all got a lot of good results.
yeah. I mean, I saw, that little one stepped out right out in the open, about 5.5 feet out in the open, and was watching me, and I acknowledged it by waving my hand at it. It didn't run. It just turned and walked back in the woods, like like oh, okay, there he is. They were watching me because I had to go back to the camp. I still ain't. I still got this whole daggone thing to listen to. I ain't even listened to it yet.
Oh,
You ain't
you might have some cool stuff on it.
That's a lot of listening, man.
Oh, I love that pair of whatever that thingamajig was we was listening through that first night. That parabolic dish or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Red had
I
one of those, and
turned on
that
to that.
first night I was just sitting there pointing it up the hill, and you could hear them walking, clacking rocks, breaking limbs. That thing was a blast.
Cool.
I love that damn thing.
Well, I'm gonna get another one. I'm gonna get another one. Send you
That's for
one.
one of those.
Next time I come back down there, we're gonna have a thermo. We're gonna have a thermo camera with us, and might have a 4-wheeler.
We might camp in a different spot too next time.
Well, I know one thing.
I know
If I
it's
come back,
another spot that I know is a hot area.
yeah. Well,
Back
when I go
behind my
back,
daughter's across a big creek.
can we take a 4-wheeler back up in there?
Yeah.
Good, because I'm gonna bring a
Yeah, 'cause
machete.
we park right in their driveway, out through the field, back field, across the creek, over the woods. It's basically on the back end of my place. But this creek is wide,
Why
is
couldn't I just
big.
take the 4-wheeler all the way back there?
And
Why couldn't I just take the 4-wheeler all the way back there?
you could.
That's what I want to do, because I think it's better.
We could go from the house, because I know
Yeah.
the trails.
Oh, okay.
Because I walked it. It's just harder to walk coming back than it is going down. Because you're going straight down the mountainside
Yeah.
on the back end. All we got to do is go back the lane. Here from my house, get to about a quarter of a mile before you get to my son's house. There's a old 4-wheeler trail that cuts down through the woods, straight down, straight to her house.
Yeah.
Because they used to travel, her and her boyfriend used to travel it all the time on 4-wheelers.
Yeah, because I'm gonna get a 4-wheel drive 4-wheeler
Because
with a winch on it, just in case we have to use it to go up a hill.
you had no problems with it on this trail.
Good.
Unless the road's blocked, but my son's mother pretty clear.
If there's a way to get around it, I'll get around it. Believe me. I'm good at stuff like that.
Take an axe.
Well, be honest, I think everybody rides around through there all the time.
Yeah. But the whole time we was out there, I mean, just a little time that we was out there, both of us learned a lot. I taught her how to slow down, observe,
Yeah.
and she picks up more. I've learned new structures and how they did it. I mean, we got some video of some very, very, very interesting things out there that I associated with my area and not in my area. There were some things that I seen that was in my area, and then I seen some things that was not my area that was in her area that I learned, and I seen how they did it and everything. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, Leo.
Okay, you asked Connie what she learned from you, and other than seeing new, different structures, what did you learn from Connie?
Main thing I learned from her was how she communicated with the squatches. Because she talked to them like they was just regular people. And that's
Well,
what
you did too.
Yeah, but I didn't do as good as she did. See, while she talked to them, I watched her. I watched how she spoke. I watched her body language on how she speaks. You know, you got to learn stuff like that. When you observe stuff. And I mean, she taught me a lot. She didn't say much, about teaching me, but I was watching her the whole time, so that I was learning as we was going on because it's her area, and she knew exactly where, how, and what to do in the particular areas, and it taught me how to, uh, basically observe and listen to how she does things.
Mm-hmm.
And outreach her, and that's about the main
Yeah, with
thing that
me,
I
I can't
learned.
explain. It's hard for me to explain how I do things. So, if you want to learn from me, the best thing to do is check my pictures out, watch my. If I make a video or something, watch it. Just basically that, because it's hard for me to explain on what I do. So, watch
I
what I
I
do,
think you need
because I
I
can't
think you
explain
need
what
to
I do.
do I think you need to do more video, Connie.
That's what
I
I was
think
Well,
you
thinking about
need
doing, starting more videos here as soon as my ankle gets better.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's something else I was teaching her. I was teaching her how to zoom in on a picture, and on a structure, and explain it, and then zoom it out. To show that what it looks like up close, and then I'll tell you what and well, anyway, zoom
Don't
out and
over
get the whole
zoom though.
picture.
You have to be careful.
Not no. But I'll tell you one thing we found, and I've never seen it. We found a top of a tree that was shaped like a V. They had turned it upside down,
Like a
shoved.
wishbone.
Yeah, they shoved it in the ground. And there was something like this. There was a stick behind it like this, or like this, and there was a stick running through it from
Yeah.
the front to the back, going through, another two trees and break, and it was broke. In other words, it went like this. It went up through the wishbone into the trees, and then snapped and come to the ground.
Hmm.
That was the most
And
fascinating
then they had a
thing.
little teepee like sticks behind the trees
Yeah, exactly.
with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that
I
was
think I saw that picture. I was telling Connie earlier. I think I saw. I'm pretty sure I saw that.
We found that structure over the hill from the deer stand.
yeah, that was it.
Ways down the hill from the deer stand.
Yeah, it was in the pine thicket. Well,
Been
kind
in
of in
that
the
area.
pine.
Yeah,
But it was,
because
it
I
was
hadn't
very,
been in that
Um,
spot yet.
I
it was very,
think. Go ahead.
no, it was very interesting what we found, because I've been thinking about that structure ever since I got back, and I'm still not quite figuring out how, not how, but why, and what the purpose of that structure is. Now, it could be for a shelter or for a shade spot, but it's plenty of shade there. Because that wood was old. Every bit of it was old. But it was freshly put there because you could take and grab that bone, that V, and you could pick it up off the ground, but it was stuck in the ground. You could see it was just been there for a while. So I don't know.
Hmm.
It was very interesting how they did it and everything, and I ca-
What?
and I really enjoyed it. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the show now. It's about quarter after and everything. So, folks,
All
if
right.
you want, um, check out our photographs on my timeline. Fred Caney. Go to Connie Fox's timeline. Check the photos out. Uh, we got photos posted in Virginia, Kentucky Bigfoot group. Her page, my page. Uh, Go check them out, man. You will definitely learn something. So this is Fred Caney and Connie Fox speaking from Virginia, Kentucky Bigfoot Research Organization or Bigfoot Group. We hope y'all enjoyed it, and we will talk to y'all later. Keep your ears open.